Well, hello, how are you? The stream is up and running. Welcome along to this week's Monday Meetup. Just want to say a big welcome to anyone who's watching this evening, especially to Dave, who's already in the chat room. He was in early, just checking us out. It's been nice this week to have new viewers, new subscribers. It's been exciting to say. If you're watching this on the replay, big hello to you. Don't forget, down there, make a comment, say hello, check us out. Let me know that you're here and let me know your thoughts on what you're watching. It's been a week. It's certainly been a week. Last week I talked about this little booklet I started, a little day-to-day notepad. And I drew out little squares as a countdown to reaching 10,000. And I got there. Look at that. On the 29th, we got there. And they're different colours because each colour's a different day. And we got the 10,000 and it was amazing. I am totally chuffed, totally humbled by how many people have joined the channel and checked us out. Hello, GVN Governor. Hi, Wazza, how are you? Nettie, hello to you. People are in the chat room. Good to see you here already. So yeah, it has been an exciting week. When I started this last week, I thought it was going to be ages to do this. And I'm really pleased to say the growth is still going on. At this precise moment, as I'm recording this, there are now 10,332 subscribers. And that's great because when I done that first one, I decided to do a second one. And that's all filled up too. It's chuffing. And I'm reading it and I've started another 2 pages today, look, and I've already hit 3 of those. So I'm really excited about the growth of the channel and the fact that so many are taking part in comments and all that sort of stuff. It's been a brilliant week so far and I'm really chuffed. I didn't for 1 minute imagine when I started doing this, you know, that I'd get to 10,000 subscribers. Andy, hello, how are you down there in South Wales? It's been an exciting week, there's no doubt about it. And it's made me want to do more of this, to get videos out that people sort of resonate with and that can help you. But I've got to tell you about this. I talked about it last week, and this week has been brilliant with this. I used to do Facebook, right? And with Facebook, I used to pretty much put comments on there every single day. I'd talk about what was going on in life, talk about what was happening with whatever I was doing. I'd chat about different things, much the same as I do on here. And I've kind of missed that since I stopped doing Facebook, that typing out and doing stuff and getting things out there. I do a normal journal. This is a journal that I keep with me. I've been doing these for 6 years. Basically, I keep a check on what I'm up to. This is the start of a new month, so I'll put all the things I've done every day in here at the end of the day, and across this side I'll put one thing that I've been grateful for that day. So I've been doing this for 6 years. And then I watched this video last week about doing this one. And this is like an everyday one. I call it thoughts and things, but I really should call it brain dump because as stuff goes into my head, I've been just writing it down this week. And it's been really funny to see some things that have popped into my head this week, right? A comment that my mum said to me years ago come into my head this week, and I wrote it down. And what she said was, if you've nothing good to say, say nothing. That was one of my mum's one, right? I saw another one this week. The best helping hand is at the end of your arm. Enjoying the process of life enjoying the process of life brings the fun back into living. So I've been writing down things as I've come across them this week. If I've seen something in a video that's made me think, wow, Because if I don't write them down, I'll forget them. It's simply like that. And I've been keeping little comments. I had Robert in Ohio got in touch with me this week, asking me if I'd do polls on the community page about things like favourite 90s films, favourite 90s music, all sorts of things like that, about whether I liked action and mystery and all those kinds of things. So I wrote that down here so that I could remember it, because if I don't, I will forget. But I have to tell you, right, about this morning. I would have forgotten this by now any other day, but since I've been writing in here, I had to write it down. In the UK, there are a band called Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark. And in the 80s, they had a load of records out, and I really, really liked them. Just seen Gordon in the room. Hello, Gordon, how are you? Anyway, this morning, I was listening to the radio, right, and this record came on. And I've got an internet radio, so you can look at the side of it. It tells you what track's playing and who it's by and all that sort of stuff. So I looked over and it said Joan of Arc, Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark. And I looked at my wife and I found out today that I've been calling a song the wrong title for 40 years. Because I said, that's not Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc sounds like this, and I started singing it, and the more I kept thinking about it, I'm thinking, this guy's got this wrong. It's definitely wrong. Anyway, I Shazammed it like you do, and it turns out he was right. And so I was thinking, what the hell is this record that I've been singing Joan of Arc for years? And it was Made of Orleans. So that was something that this morning I was so sure I was right, and I Shazammed it because I was going to prove that I was right and they was wrong. Well, one of us was wrong. Have a guess who it was. That was the first thing, right? And then a little bit later, Wings' Silly Love Songs come on the radio, right? And it took me back to 1976 when it came out. And we had an amusement arcade on a holiday camp, right? And that when that was out, I can remember it was just getting hot. It was that hot summer. Do you remember when it was so hot in this country and ladybirds were everywhere? Anyway, I was sat in the arcade and I was sitting in there and I'm thinking, I've got Wings playing on the radio. And I can remember at the time looking out of the cash desk window, out through the arcade to the front of the arcade. And as it was a holiday camp, it was about 10 minutes walk to the beach from there. And I could sit in the pay box about 9:30 in the morning and just watch these droves of people walking past, going down to the beach, and thinking to myself, my God, I wish I could be one of them. I really would love to have done that. And it's one of them things that just come back this morning, and it reminded me of it. And I wrote them both down, so I've just told you about them. I wouldn't have been able to do that otherwise, because about 20 minutes later, I would have totally forgotten about that. And that's a reason why I really love this thing. They won't last very long. I started this on the 23rd, and I've got that much to go. So I'll have this finished this week. But I bought a pack with tons of them in because I knew I'd start writing again. And so this has been brilliant, you know. It's reminded me of so much stuff this week that I've written down and scribbled down. And one day, you know, my kids can read this and see what my nutty brain was. Burnham-on-Sea, yes, indeedy. I lived in Burnham-on-Sea from 1960... the beginning of 1965 till the end of 1976. We first of all had an amusement arcade on the seafront there, and then it built up on scaffolding over the beach, and the council wouldn't renew the lease for it in the end. So my dad got an arcade on this holiday camp, and that's where I was in 1976 when that song came out. And it kind of made me happy. Steve, hello. You remember 1976, I know, because you were there too. Martin, hello. How are you? I haven't heard from you for ages. How you doing, my friend? Wings at the Speed of Sound is great. I liked the other side of Silly love songs. The other side of it was, I think, was Cook of the House, and there's a record on there that I really love called She's My Baby. Who else is in here that I've not said hello to yet? Let me go check. Yes, Nettie, Enola Gay was really, really good. Hi, Deb, how are you? Martin, Nettie, Steve. So, yeah, that was... I've had one of them days. Do you get that? When you can listen to something and you hear a song and it's like a time warp and it takes you straight back there. Because that's what it was like this morning when I heard that. And to be honest, I wrote it down and I've kept looking at it today and grinning to myself about it, particularly the OMD one with Orchestral Moves in the Dark, because I'm 40 odd years and I was a DJ and I did radio as well, and I've been calling it the wrong song for years. Just shows you, doesn't it? Don't it, Shay? I'm glad you like that as well, Martin. She's My Baby is my favourite track on the album. Yeah, so that's been that. I've been thinking, right, about what I'm going to do to celebrate this 10,000. Because, I mean, it's not going to happen again, is it? And the next big lump like that is miles away. So what I thought was I'd give you this question of the day. Are you ready? Should I do a Q&A video to mark getting 10,000 subscribers? What do you think? Because for me, it's something that I wouldn't mind doing. You can ask me anything you want. You might get a sensible answer, you may not. But it'll be a bit more light-hearted than the things I talk about on the videos. So what do you think? Let me know and I'll think about it. Because I was thinking I won't do it this week because Wednesday's video is already done. And it also will not give you time to get in touch with me to ask the questions that you want to ask. I should have done this earlier. I never thought to do it, but you can email me your questions to info@thesandscratcher.com. And if you want to film it as well and send it to me, you can be part of the video as well. info@thesandscratcher.com. Send me your questions for the Q&A and we'll do a 10,000 sort of... I'll tell you some of the other stuff of my life if you want. You can ask me the questions. It'll be fun. I may not be able to answer some of them. Or I might just answer something stupid because that's pretty much who I am as well, you know. So that was something I fancy doing. So if you want to ask me any questions for the Q&A, then info@thesandscratcher.com. Send me it there. If you want to send me a video with a question, send that as well. And it's playing up again, is it? It's a terrible thing, isn't it? I thought that once I got this super fast, speedy internet connection, that it would be great. But apparently you guys are having a bit of problems. Sherlock Dave, how are you? Good to see you in the room. It's obviously the heat is still getting there. I've just looked up at the screen and I'm watching myself and my voice is out of sync with that. So I don't know what is going on. It's obviously the heat once again. I don't know what I can do about it. The only other thing I can do is stop doing this for a while it's hot and go back to using the phone the old way. Because we didn't seem to have any problems when I used to use the phone because I just used the data off the phone and then it would work well. It may be that I have to go and do that. If it's still dropping and if we conk out again, then that's what I'll have to do next week. If we conk out again, we'll call it a night tonight because I don't know about you, but I've got fed up with it all. Keep doing it all the time. But there's not much I could do. I've got a fan behind there. I've got a fan over there. I've got a fan over there. Just trying to keep it cool. The window is open. It's just so hot in here. And so I don't really know if there's anything else I can do. I don't think it's the fibre. I think it's the heat on the PC. I've moved the PC tower thing. Do you know what I mean? I moved that out of the way, and it's just everything's so hot in here. I've got a fan less than 2 inches away from this webcam. I've got a fan over by the PC, and I've got a fan behind me over there, just trying to keep everything cool. But it's basically just so hot in here. Question of the day. Dave, if you missed it, it's this one. Should I do a Q&A video to mark getting 10,000 subscribers? And if you think so, email me, info@thesandscratcher.com, and I will save your questions and put them in. Thank you, Wazzy. You're my fans. Emmy Man, hello, how are you? It's good to see you all. It's I'll tell you what, it's really getting good. I love the fact that I see you guys in here every week, even though my equipment keeps playing up. I'm ruining everything. I don't know why. Well, I do. It's just basically hot. But they did say that this week it's going to cool down again. I do need proper aircon. I would love to have that. But I haven't got the pennies, Steve, if the truth be known. I just haven't got it. How you doing, Emmy Man? at the moment, it's so hot, my PC keeps shutting off because it overheats, and it's got a fan right next to it as well, but as the one that's in it. So it's got a fan blowing through all the air vents. And yes, it has been hoovered out. It has been cleaned out. So do you know what I mean? Turn to page 28. Thank you so much. It's I'm really, really pleased, to be honest with you. I'm really pleased with it. I'm very humbled, you know. It seems really odd to me that I've got that kind of many subscribers. The videos seem to be doing well this week. To be honest, I haven't had the time to do a screen picture of all the data and that this week. But it's going well. It's going well. I'll tell you what, there seems to be a lot of people who are struggling at the moment. And I'm very sad about that. I think it's a shame that people are struggling. I'm trying to answer as many questions as I can. I'm getting most of them. I'm getting most of the questions done. I'm trying to give longer answers if I think I need to. But I don't know. I hope what I'm doing is helping people. It certainly seems to be growing still because of the stuff that I'm obviously putting out is resonating with a lot of people at the moment. The next video, last week I did one talking about grief and stuff like that. The one that's going out on Wednesday I've done is talking about loneliness, because I get a lot of the comments are talking about how people feel alone. Well, you can feel alone in a room full of people. I know that. I've had it happen myself. So I kind of thought I'd address it this week. It's not as long as our normal videos. It's a shorter video, but I think it's still going to be of help. Now, next weekend's video is going to be a fun one. Do you remember back in the days of DVDs when people used to buy a newspaper and you'd get a DVD in with it? Back in, must be the early 2000s now. I remember buying the Daily Mail, and I don't buy a paper generally, but I can remember buying a Daily Mail for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I built up a collection of about 30 different war films because they were giving them away in the paper, and I bought loads of them over the time. I lost them years ago, but when Debs worked in the charity shop, she came home one night with a carrier bag full of DVDs in little cardboard things that come out of all the newspapers back then. And I said, what made you bring them home? And she said, well, they were going to throw them away because apparently in the charity shop they weren't allowed to sell them. They weren't allowed to sell them. So I said, what, they give them to you? She said, no, I offered them a donation and gave them a donation towards the shop. and she brought them back. And I've never really gone through them properly. And I did the other day. And in next weekend's video, I'm going to share what I've got in there. I loved all that. There's a whole bunch of those war films that I talked about that I had before. In fact, in my very first review video, I talked about one of the films that's in that. I watched it because of that. Anyway, I'm going to go through them and show you some of these films and show you what kinds of films and what DVDs they gave away back in the day. It certainly was the only thing that I thought made a newspaper worth buying. So, yeah, that was good. And so I've got all them. And I was thinking about it the other day. I haven't done a video like that for a while because obviously I'm not out and about collecting like I was because I'm still struggling. I'm still struggling with my stamina and that. I'll tell you what I ain't struggling with, losing a bit of weight. 3 weeks I've been on this thing where I check me calories every day, and I lost another pound this week. So in 3 weeks I've lost 5 pounds. So that's good. I'm pleased about that. There's another little get together for that tomorrow in the afternoon, so I'm looking forward to that. I'll see what they're going to be talking about. What else do I know? What else do I know? I haven't really written much notes today, to be honest with you. I did, as always, try and do something, but I never really got round to a lot. Chris, I'm sorry, I haven't said hello to you, and you were in the chat room already. I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. I hope you're feeling better than you did last week. What else can I talk about? What else can I talk about? I'm looking through here because this has been such fun this week, writing these things down. But yeah, going back to Facebook, I used to talk about all sorts of stuff, you know. It doesn't feel the same doing it here because with these videos, we kind of talk these topics that I talk. And on Facebook, because a lot of people on there, at one stage I had 5,000 followers on Facebook Friends, and Facebook Friends, I had 5,000 at one time, and that was when I was doing radio, and I did it. I used to get a lot of people requesting records and things like that for the various shows that I did. And then after a while, it dropped off. On Facebook, I'd met a load of people that I'd been friends with when I was growing up in my teens and that kind of stuff. And so I used to talk on there a lot. I used to put photos on there all the time, going back through my mum and dad's photos. And I'd show them what was these old photos, and I'd talk about the old times and about things that we did when we were growing up. Because a lot of people who were friends with me on there knew me for that. So I've never really done that on here because I'm not sure that anybody would be interested in it if you don't know me and my life in the past. But I used to love going on there and just talking about different stuff. I talked about one of the things that I did on Facebook. Are we back? Are we back? Can you see me? Am I back? This is what I need to know. I seem to be having problems. Am I back? Can somebody tell me whether I'm back or not? I'm going to carry on as though I'm back, and we'll see how it goes. I know that my chat room isn't working, but I can see that the studio is back up and running and that people are still there. So I don't know what's going on. I'm going to have to see if I can find my chat room on my phone to see what you're saying. We are back. Back. Gone completely, yes. I'm back. I can see the chat room again. I don't know what happened there. I basically stopped streaming and opened the stream again to see if we could carry on, and we'll see where it goes. Obviously, my PC is burning. It's really hot. So I expect that's where the problem lies. I think we're gonna... My computer is completely baking at the moment. I don't know how long it's going to last. If it does this again, I'm afraid I'm going to go and we'll forget it like we had to last week, because this is just a bit crazy at the minute. What was I saying? Wonder if you could do a live at a lower resolution than your computer might be like. I don't know. Let me just see. I'll try and go into my settings if I can get them up on here. No. I was talking about Facebook, wasn't I? I can't seem to be getting anything working on here at the minute. But if you're still hearing me, Facebook, yes. How to stop overthinking things. I'm definitely not overthinking. Facebook, what I did, I used to talk about people. Hi, Surly, how are you? And the servant of Christ Jesus, hello to you too. Yeah, I used to go on Facebook, and the one I think when I had cancer, there was a problem. Does it do it when you're processing videos? No, not normally. No, Dave. When I had cancer, I realised that I'd been very lucky, and that people had helped me out over the years, and I was grateful for that. And so what I did, I used to start thanking people on there, and I'd name people and I'd say what they did for me and how they'd helped me. And it used to be, it worked very well. I used to get messages from family members of the people I talked about saying they were chuffed that I'd said such nice things about them. And I thought it was a change, that it was something that, make sure no other program. Sorry, I'm reading my chat room again. I liked the fact that I was saying thank you to people, because I wouldn't have done it face to face. I'm not the kind of person who could go up to someone and say thanks for what you've done for me. It's not something I'm able to do, but I could do it that way, and it's gone again.